Hi guys, how you guys doing this fine day? Um, I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. Uh, just kidding. I was thinking today. Um, there's reasons why. There's still reasons why I haven't uh, preached the gospel yet. You know what I mean? Not really. You know, there's still some things I'm not certain about. Still, you know, not fully. I have to be 100%. You know what I mean? There's there's a lot of areas I'm 100% sure about when it comes to God, um, but not everything. And that's kind of what holds me up. You know what I mean? I'm one of those guys. I have to know for sure before I preach because I'll feel like I'm lying. I'm lying if I'm not fully convinced in the gospel of Jesus. You know what I mean? Someone told me that Jesus is the gospel. That's correct. He himself is the gospel. He's the gospel. It's that simple, really. But I think Paul knew that. He knew that Jesus was the gospel. You know what I mean? So he's hardcore. I think it'd be an honor to be like uh, that guy. That guy preaches and walks the gospel like Paul would. I think that'd be pretty honorable if someone said that to me. I think so. From what I've read about Paul, you know. Uh, He had a broken body, basically, a buffeted body. All he's preaching the gospel, you know. Thorn in his flesh the whole time. I can relate. I can relate to that for sure. But even said, you know, I don't have full confidence to preach the gospel, like preach. I know. Witness and talk about it, yeah. Preach, preach with full conviction, full force. No, not there yet for certain reasons. There's certain areas that God hasn't really proven himself to me. Certain areas, you know. He's proven a lot of things, but not everything. So I'm like, I'm back to my old self. I'm like, maybe I am better than God in these areas, these other areas that haven't been proven. Maybe I am better than He is, even if I'm not. Even if I'm not, maybe I am. And God gives me that hope. He does. I'm like, maybe I am better than God. It goes back to when I was a kid. It does. All this goes back to that. My rivalry with God goes back to when I was a kid. It's almost that kid in me is like kind of giddy. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, if I can disprove one thing about God and I'm better than He is, victory, victory. That's what it's all about. It's like a childhood dream of mine, you know. I proved I was better than God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There are certain things I have not verified that God's better than me. Not me personally, verified. So, humor is one of them. God's funny, but we'll see who's funnier. We'll see. He hasn't proven he's funnier than me. But we'll see. To me, he hasn't proven it. So, that's one thing. If God can prove he's funnier than me, then I could preach the gospel. Full force. If he could prove he's funnier than I am. Yeah. That's what I say. Anyways, that's why, if you're wondering why I haven't been like full force preaching the gospel, you know what I mean? Just being low key and pretty much just being low key and witnessing and not being full force street preaching. That's why I'm not fully convinced in certain areas. Certain areas I'm not. Even still, I'm one of those guys. I have to be fully convinced. They try to get me to preach the Mormon gospel, and I'm like, no, no, I don't believe it. I have to believe it fully. I didn't believe it fully. That's what it takes. I have to believe it fully before I preach. Fully. That's why I'm not a full believer. I don't consider myself a full believer. Just a believer. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I thought about today. There's things holding me back from preaching full force. There's things holding me back. I'm that honest. I have to be sure. I have to be sure about everything. Oh, at least a lot of things about God. To preach it, you know what I mean? I'm not there yet. There's that part of me that's like, if I preach for God, he could abandon me tomorrow. He could betray me still. There's still that part of me, you know what I'm saying? So, it's legit. Anyways, that's kind of the holdup, you know? For sure. That's the holdup of why I haven't preached. Haven't street preached, nothing. Haven't preached in a church, nothing. That's why. They'll let me preach, they will. The Baptists said they would let me preach. If God wanted me to preach, the Baptists said they would let me preach. If God said to, for me to do it. But that time hasn't come. Anyways, that's all I will say for this video.